Happy Friday, everybody. Today is January 12th, 2024, and this is your Friday planning video. This has been a pretty busy week for news, especially on the economy and the markets and even the world of geopolitics and politics. I'll touch on none of that today. This is for Tuesday. Once again, this coming Monday, the markets are closed for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I'll also mention that Sunday is the 100th day of captivity for the hostages in Gaza. I won't get any more political, as you know, but suffice it to say, they're in my prayers every day, and may we live to see them return safely to their loved ones soon. I don't suggest that I can switch that part of my brain off, especially as I'm headed back to Israel this week to witness my oldest son becoming an Israeli citizen. We'll also spend some time volunteering where the country needs us. All that being said, you tuned in for some planning ideas, so here they come. We spoke last week about the constant motivation to work to achieve your goals. These goals may be saving for education for your children, setting yourself up for retirement, or even preparing for the possibility of added healthcare expenses, as so many of us will have. All of these goals require the process. Remember the process. Let's discuss the goals. Let's identify what they are. Let's come up with a plan to work to achieve them. Let's implement that plan, review and monitor that plan, make the necessary changes to that plan, and then we repeat. This is the process. The process is something we'll discuss over and over again as we have our meetings and we measure our progress. There are some other items that I want to talk about today, some housekeeping issues. They may sound trivial, but they are anything but trivial. Before I get too far into this, let's review. I don't give personal tax or legal advice, but I am, as I work with your accountant and your legal team, I can assist in getting not only your asset allocation in the proper order, but also the asset location and a lot of other details. So first, let's talk about the titles of your account. Before you get ahead of yourself and think that every household must have a trust, please check with your attorney. This may or may not be the case. If your account's not in joint name, please be sure you reviewed all the possible ways to properly title that account. One way that I've been discussing with a few clients just this week is the TOD account. That's transfer on death. Now, no one likes that name and discussing it even less, but one of the keys to this is that when you have a simple asset distribution plan, when you're gone, say you have two children and they'll divide everything 50-50, you can designate that even in a taxable account without major legal headaches, and usually with the advice of your attorney, one form that we can provide. The easiest way I have to explain this is to compare it to your retirement plans, your 401k, or even your IRA. If you have your IRA, and we'll keep on you about making sure your beneficiaries are up to date. So remember, as we talk about this a lot, births and deaths and other life changes will provide you reason to make changes here. And when you have those beneficiaries up to date, when you pass, your asset will go where you tell it to go with the beneficiary designation. A TOD form for your non-retirement account will allow that same thing to happen. What else do we want to do as we get going into this year? Let's talk about updated limits for your IRA and your 401k. These will be the focus of next week's video, but let's review them. And if you're making monthly contributions in order to max them out, be sure to adjust from last year, especially if you've crossed the age of 50, the catch-up provisions are for you. Before we get too far away, let's back up and do some basics. It's still close to the beginning of the year, so this will work. As the weeks go on, I'll bring you more detailed planning ideas, and we'll dig into some great ideas on what we can work on. For now, let's start by getting a good assessment of your financial condition. This is not to be the deep dive into your balance sheet, but it could be. It's really just getting an idea. What does your savings look like? What do your investments look like? How's the cash flow? All of this is a good thing to review as we get going this year. Next, just think about the past 2 years, high highs and low lows. We've discussed recency bias a lot, but try to recall, are you okay with the risk that you're taking in your plan at this time? Does your time horizon match that risk? What I mean by this is that if you're planning on using your investments to provide income in the next year or so, does your allocation to support that, regardless of what the market does? How about this? Many people wait until the end of the year to talk philanthropic planning. Let me remind you, the last market high was January of 2022. So maybe it makes sense to review in January of 2024. After moves that we've seen in 2023, does tax advantage charitable giving make sense now? Should we discuss donor advised funds, other gifting plans? Something we can talk about. Finally, for today, I want to introduce you to something new. We talk about your retirement plans a lot and the actual investments in them. Many of you have employee plans, and many of you don't spend a lot of time reviewing them. Wall Street Journal just ran a story last week talking about the benefits of spending some time on your 401k plans and plans like this. As we enter 2024, there is now a way that I can help you with this. This is a huge deal for so many of you. This is or will be your largest asset in your lifetime, but barely paid attention to. Does that make sense? Please, this is a great time to talk about this. Please ask me how I can help you with this. It is new, and I think it can help as we pursue your goals. Okay, that's a good start for 2024 planning. Please come back on Tuesday for another market update video and keep coming back. I'll be revamping the distribution plan for these videos, so keep an eye out for that. We'll also be bringing you some new content this year, so watch for that too. Have a great weekend and stay warm.